Alright, welcome back guys. We're going to continue looking at radical expressions. In this section we're going to look at how to simplify radical expressions. The first thing we're going to learn is the quotient rule for radicals. Alright, so what the quotient rule does is it allows us to simplify radicals. Normally we might not be able to simplify. So it says if I have the nth root of a over b, well I can split that up as the nth root of a over the nth root of b. Okay, well let's see how we can apply that. So let's say I'm looking for the square root of 64 over 121. Well, according to the quotient rule, I can rewrite this as the square root of 64 over the square root of 121. All right, well we should all know that the square root of 64 is 8. The square root of 121 is just 11. So the square root of 64 over 121 is equal to 8 over 11. All right, so that's how the quotient rule works. Let's look at one more. Let's say we want to simplify square root p to the 6 over 81. Well, again, applying the quotient rule, I can rewrite this as the square root of p to the 6 over the square root of 81. All right, so what is the square root of p to the 6? Well, here's a little trick with our exponents when it comes to variables. Whatever your index is, okay, remember, if you don't see one, it's understood to be a 2. Whatever your index is, you just divide your exponent by your index. So 6 divided by 2 comes out to be 3. So square root of p to the 6 is p to the 3rd, and the square root of 81 is 9. So our answer is p cubed over 9. All right, so that's how we can use the quotient rule. And now we're just going to look at general ways to simplify our radicals. All right, so let's say we want to simplify square root of 12. All right. Well, remember, in the previous video, I showed you one way of simplifying using prime factorization. And again, that's how I simplify all my radical expressions. So I want to find the prime factorization of 12. So that's 2 times 6, and then 2 times 3. So I can rewrite this as 2 times 2 times 3. All right, so now remember, my index is the 2. So that means I have to have 2 of one factor to be able to pull it out one time. So I have 2 2's, so I can pull out 1 2. Well, I'm left with only 1 3. I can't do anything with it because I at least need 2. So it has to stay. So the square root of 12 simplifies to 2 times the square root of 3. Now let's look at another one. All right, so here we want to simplify the square root of 288. All right, again, I'm looking for the prime factorization. So I know that 288 is 2 times 144. Well, 144 I know is 12 times 12, 2 times 6, and then 2 times 3. Same thing over here, 2 times 6, and then 2 times 3. So here we got all my prime numbers. So I can rewrite the square root of 288 as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's, and 1, 2, 3's. So we get square root of 288 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. My index is the 2, so I gotta have 2 of factors to be able to pull 1 out. So 2 2's, I can pull 1 out. 2 more 2's, I can pull 1 out. I only got 1 2, so it stays, but then 2 3's, I can pull a 3 out. I'm left with the square root of 2. Let's multiply our outside terms together. 2 times 2 times 3. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12, so we get 12 times the square root of 2. All right, very good. All right, you try some now. I'm going to put 2 of them up here. I want you to pause the video, give yourself some time to try this, and then we'll come back and look at them together and see how you did. All right, so pause the video, give yourself some time to do these, and then come back and we'll figure them out. All right, so hopefully you have some time to figure these out. Now let's see how well you did. Well, if I try to simplify the square root of 30, remember, find the prime factorization. That's 3 and 10, and that's 2 and 5. So I can rewrite this as 2 times 3 times 5. So now remember, we gotta have 2 to be able to pull 1 out. But if you notice, I only have 1 of each factor. So I can't pull anything out, so everything has to stay. So the square root of 30 is already in its simplest form. So we can't do anything to simplify that one. All right, what about 128? Well, again, we want to find its prime factorization. So I'm going to come over here. That's 2 times 64. 64 is 8 times 8. This is 2 times 4, which is 2 times 2. Same thing over here, 2 times 4, which is 2 times 2. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2's. So this is equal to 7 2's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, so now we have a 3. So that means I gotta have 3 of one factor to be able to pull 1 out. So I have 1, 2, 3 2's. I can pull 1, 2 out. I have 1, 2, 3 2's. I can pull another 2 out. I'm left with 1, 2 underneath, so it has to stay. Remember to put your index back, so it's the cube root of 2. 2 times 2 on the outside is 4, and so we get 4 times the cube root of 2. All right, very good. And now this last one. Again, I'm going to find this prime factorization. So 144, well, that's 12 times 12. 2 times 6, 2 and 3. 2 times 6, and then 2 and 3. So I can rewrite this as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. All right, well, here we have x cubed y to the 9th. Remember the trick I just told you about at variables. We'll go over that one again too. All right, again, my index is 2. So I have 2 2's. I can pull 1 out. 2 more 2's. I can pull 1 out. 2 3's. I can pull 1 out. Now our variables. Remember, take this number and divide it. 3 divided by 2, it goes evenly 1 time. So that means I can pull out 1x, but I still have 1 underneath, so it has to stay. All right, now my 9's, with my 9's, 9 divided by 2, well, it goes 4 times evenly. So this is y to the 4th, but we would have 1 y left over, so it has to stay. Multiply our numbers on the outside together. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12, and we're left with 12 times x times y to the 4th power times the square root of x times y. Now remember, if there's not enough to pull them out, you must leave them up under there. You cannot take them out.